Hello everybody and welcome back to Farming Simulator 22 on Castelnaud. So we're carrying on with the build. I think this is this episode 4? I think it is. So we're getting there. I did say 5 episodes and I'm hoping 5 is still going to be the case. We might go 1 over. We'll just have to check. There'll be some finishing touches as well, because you do actually see a lot of what I'm building when I'm kind of like ground level like I am now. So like that, I've already noticed that kind of needs raising up, just small little bits like that. But I have done quite a lot behind the scenes, so yeah, in between episodes I have tried to do a bit. I'm not too certain on that as well, but I do like that wall. Definitely think it's spot on for what we want to do. Now, I have been in the Discord as well, and I've seen everyone sharing their farm builds, so I am going to wait until next episode and just try and showcase some of the best ones that I've seen. Take some inspiration, just last little bit of inspiration hopefully. So yeah, stay tuned to the next episode, see if yeah, I share your farm if you've put it into the Discord. So let's have a look at the farm then. You can see that I've put this gate in. I think this is a nice entrance, and I did want to try and find a wall that kind of matched this brick, but I didn't in the end. I just didn't find anything that was close enough to it for me that I decided just to put these in, because I kind of think that these be something you'd see as a fence, kind of like a stone wall. And it doesn't look too bad, but we can always change it last minute. I've got like 2 tones over here. This is a bit of an aged one, whereas that one there looks like it's been jet washed basically. But yeah, this is going to be the entrance to the farm. So we've got this shed over here coming in, which will be probably used quite a bit for storage. Probably tractors mainly in there. I have actually done quite a lot. I think I'm pretty happy with how it's turned out on here. You can see that I've done the texture painting, so the layered texture painting in this section. It's probably better if I jump up in the air just to give you a better look of it. But yeah, this section all down here is now what I'd say done when it comes to the textures, so painting them down. And I did put a partition in, which I think works a treat, and it's definitely good with this wall as well, and these gates. So I'm happy with how that's turned out. It kind of separates this section to that. I've also done one over here, so put some trees in down there and put that wall in. Tidied this and made it so it connects now a little bit better. And then this gate, I think, looks spot on there at a bit of an angle. So I'm happy with that. Put a workshop area over here. Didn't know whether to go with something decent, but I thought, no, I'll just keep it and kind of morph it into this old shed that's a bit battered. We've got the jet washing here. We've also got now where we can work. And when I start putting decorations down, I'll make that look a bit more busy than what it is. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it, and I'm definitely happy with how it's turned out with the textures. I think it's nice little finishing touches and gives it a bit of a kind of like realistic feel. So we were talking about manure in the last episode, and I have found a few, and I've placed them down. So we've got this one here that's just spot on. It kind of fits perfectly. So we've got that one there. Over in this section, I decided to build one that was kind of like just going into the grassland area. Now we'll texture all that and everything, paint the textures into that. But that I'm pretty much happy with. And then over here, I've not put one down for this, but the pigs have still got one. So this is the only section that hasn't got one currently. But we'll sort that out. Did put straw in everywhere because I wanted to test it out, but I haven't given it enough time yet. And they haven't got any feed, so I don't know if that'll impact it. I've never actually tried that. If I just give straw, will they give off manure without feed? Kind of like, not 100%. So if I was going to guess, I'd say it probably wouldn't. And this wall, this is definitely going to go. This isn't going to stay. I just put it there to kind of make it, just give me an idea of what I'm doing. But I am going to do something. I don't know whether to make it one big grass field. I'm not sure yet. Definitely going to keep that one there like that. And I have gone into September, day 1 now. So this is actually ready to harvest sorghum. But I'm happy with it. Honestly, I think the way it's turned out, I'm pretty happy with how this is so far. It's starting to come together, and you can see that outside here now with this wall separation. Driving down there will look a lot better than what it did before. A few trees are in place, not many, but just a few. Then I put grass down on this section as well. carried on the wall. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do, whether put a bit more trees in or something, but I'll figure it out when I get closer to the finishing touches, which will be, like I said previously, fences, trees, bushes, decorations, all that kind of stuff will be the last bit we do. Found some rock decorations as well. I've actually found quite a lot of decorations that I've added in, so it's going to offer quite a bit more. But I found a few that I've just placed and kind of some are inbuilt into the kind of rock that I've already done with the terraforming. And then there's like this one here that I've put in. But I just tried to mix it up just to make it look a little bit different. So there's one there as well. Don't think I put anything there. I did put one there just behind the bench. So yeah, happy with that. This area over here, I put my sign in. I think this is a really good spot for the sign. So again, massive thank you to everyone that supports the channel. Don't say it enough. I do try and show it in every single one of my farmhand videos, but honestly, you guys make it worthwhile. The long nights, the heavy prep for the farmhand, you guys make it worthwhile. And hopefully, you're helping me, maybe one day soon, hopefully, fulfill my dream and doing YouTube full time. So a big shout out to every single one of you that supports the channel, becomes a member, even if it's through Ko-fi or through YouTube. Mad respect for you all. So looking at this side, you can see that I've basically just put some extra layers on. It's just this kind of like blended one that I think works really well with the cobblestone, which is, it's like a dirty grass texture that just blends in well. If I'm looking at it from up here, it's hard to tell. But when you go down, you can see it. So I've just put that second layer down in the painting on this section. I think that's always a first good point for me to do. Bit of grass around the sides and edges, just obviously just make it distinct what's going to be cobblestone, what's not. Not really done much there, but I have put this in. I do like the idea of having a TMR mix that we do static and then fill up a trailer maybe. I think that's going to be, yeah, much better, because we're obviously going to have, let's say, a grass silage bunker, maize silage, a bit of CCM, hay over here. I mean, we've got everything in one section over here, and if we do want to put some grain in of some sorts, we could have it stored in a silo, so that works. I'll tell you something that is pretty scary. This cow stable over here, well, it's actually a cow shed, but it's called cow stable. I've got 160 cows in there, and look at the daily amount of food required with Maize Plus. 115,000 litres is mental. It's insane. I need nearly 4 million litres of food just to feed these cows alone. These want another million. They want 500,000. I mean, it's insane to think how much grass silage. If we did max out our, capacity of the amount of animals we can have, it's insane. I don't know if we'll ever get to that. That's going to be a task and a half to even figure that out, but it's good to just put them in there now just so I can see like what my boundaries are and everything. They're all going to go, and we're just going to have a steady amount to start with. But yeah, let's get back to this then. So you can see that I've done a bit of painting mainly over here, nothing crazy, and I put the board in, but I like it because it's kind of added a bit more to it. I did finish the basin over here as well, so that's pretty cool. So that's all done now. You can see that I put a few trees, painted a few, obviously, textures down, put the boundary of the grass, really. But I'm not sure if I'm going to put anything down yet on top. I do know in this episode we're going to sort this bit out, because I need to make this different, because that turn-in was just ridiculous. Too hard to do. But now that this area is complete when it comes to painting down the textures that we've done, like I said, this section, pretty much all straight up down this way now, is basically just decorations, trees, bushes, all that kind of stuff. So the last touches on that, which is good to see. But I do want to kind of make it feel like if I'm down on ground level, I'm driving around, I want it to feel like it's kind of enclosed in a way. So the outside boundaries have got the trees in to kind of hide it, but we can't go too far with the size of tree because we don't want it encroaching on the roads when you're driving. But I do like the idea of making it all down this side. The back end have something that kind of cuts it off, because this is just too much of it, like an edge. It's, it's like a cliff edge. And if you drive off that, well, I mean, it's carnage. So we need to find a way, even if it's just a fencing. And I have got some really nice fences that we could put up. So we could try that out, put some fencing up there just to see what it looks like in this episode. Definitely sort this out. I don't know what to do about the grasses, just because I'm not sure if I'm going to build anything else into that. And if I am, I'd like to separate it somehow so it's not just so connected to the farm. even if it means like having a bit of a tree woodland area, then a grass field. I don't know. I'm pretty stuck on that. I've not 100% decided what I'm going to do with that. And then obviously we need to figure out our fields, because we've got this field. This is obviously going to be all grass. Are we going to go across the road for another grass field? Because, you know, the all there can be done. Yeah, it's a... Well, I've not figured out just yet. Are we going to do some crop fields over here? Are these going to be the ones we work on? I wouldn't mind this for a crop field. It is pretty big. I don't want the potatoes, though. But we have got a bit of canola in there and a bit of soybeans in there. So, yeah, we'll come to that probably at the end when we've finished the farm and figure out our boundaries. But I think we'll start off with this, get this sorted out. I might finish off the texture painting on this side here. The only reason I didn't want to do that so soon is because I'm not 100% certain on what I'm going to do with the grass field. But we could finish this section off. There isn't much to do over here. I've pretty much put the kind of runoff mud texture. So really, we could finish this off, then leave this one until we decide what we're going to do with the grass. And then sort out this section here. And then we can have a quick look just to see on fences and stuff like that. I think that's going to be a nice point. I will do a lot of it in between the episodes again, especially the painting down, but I just can't figure out what to do with the grass fields. If anyone's got any suggestions, drop them in the comment section. Like, what would you do? Would you separate it? Would you put a bit of like a woodland area, maybe just kind of encroaching here, and then like a little track leading over to a field over this side, or would you just make it connected to the cow shed? Maybe some barbed wire fencing so the cows can't get through, as if to simulate that that's not grazing land, something like that. I don't know. It's a tricky one, but overall, I am happy with this farm so far. It's starting to feel like something that I can definitely start playing on. So, yeah, happy with how it's turned out. It's looking a lot better from when we first started anyway, that's for certain. Right, so let's fix this problem that we've got over here. Pretty much what we've got to do is determine from this point over there. So I'm going to just completely demolish out this and pretty much start again, like from this section. Because unfortunately the runoffs are all going to go, which isn't the greatest thing in the world. But we can always put them back in. As long as we get it right, that's the main thing. So let's just paint that down straight away and we can fix it after. So we know now that we're pretty much going to run up this way, aren't we? So why don't we just first off paint in the cobbles like that. I think that's a decent enough turning now, because we can't get rid of this. That's the problem. But I think coming from that section there is an easy turn, and then this one's pretty fine now. So that's not a problem at all. Just trying to think, should I smooth that out a bit? Maybe not as much as that, but yeah. Let's try and tidy that up a bit. I think that's better. That is definitely better. Maybe like that. In fact, that's too far, isn't it? Yeah, it's a bit of a weird texture. I'll tell you what, we'll put the fencing down and then we'll go from there. Because it's not easy to see. I mean, we've got a lot of new fences as well that would look pretty cool. There's some barbed wire here, but because that's what comes with it, I might just stick to that. Even got some of this fencing. I mean, yeah. What could we use? I do like this though. I do. I actually really think that's quite suited to an aged farm. Yeah. It's a shame we can't just like. We might be able to, you know. It's going to stick through. I was thinking we could go through it. I actually prefer that. Yeah, you can see it the other side as well. That's the only problem. It'd be nice if we could get that perfect, because I think that looks better overall. But it's just not going to work, is it? So possibly we're just going to have to carry on. I mean, that's even that's a decent barbed wire fencing. Where is the? I'm trying to figure it out. I'm sure it's a base game one. There we go. So we could technically, I think that will be fine just to go up to that section. Yep, I'm happy with that. And then this part is, because it's part of the thing, it won't automatically connect. We're going to have to try and just do this one ourselves. And then I think maybe around a flat part we can put an entrance to this. So it's going to be difficult because it will landscape it. That's my only issue. So I might have to do it. I don't know. I'm thinking about this now. See, that's on a slant, isn't it? It would be good if we could get a bit of a gate. I have got one that's part of Bill's placeables. Well, it's prefabs, should I say. That have turned into a bit of a placeable mod just for the ease of it. But you can see that it's going to terraform that and flatten it out. So even though that'd be a nice place to put that on, it's just not going to work unless I make this different than what I want. So I think we just leave it at that, and yeah, we go from there. I stand by it though. I still think that that's not the right fence really. It's just a shame I can't hide this one. I mean, I could just technically keep that like that because it is there, that side. But then from this point, we could put in a wall. Why not? Let's try it out and see what it looks like. I think it's probably best to just go trial and error. Just see what we prefer. I really like this one for some reason. I just think it looks spot on. It kind of reminds me of what I'd expect on a farm. So if we just make it like what you think it should look like, that's probably a good start. We can move it all the way up there. Why not? I am happy with that. I'm happy with that. Definitely. I mean, we could obviously put some trees down, anything behind. It's a bit of a... I don't know, actually. It's a tricky one. Just can't seem to find something that just is exactly what I'm after. Like, I do like the aged look. I do. I think it suits it. But I don't know, because it's on a... I don't know. I'd expect... You probably wouldn't see it like that, would we? Maybe that? Right, so I think that looks much better. I think that's a nicer fence to have in. Yeah, and the turning's obviously a lot easier. It does need tidying up with the textures. But what I did is I've put the fence that I can't remove behind it. So it kind of still is there, but it still blends in a bit better, I think. I like that. I do. I think that's all right. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. I think it's better than the one we picked before. I've also put a gate in here and then also a bit of a separation here as well. So we've got these kind of like partitions. I like it. I think it's always good to have a few gates in the farm. So let's get these textures painted in on it. We'll start with probably this one actually. This one. Yeah, this one. We'll start with this one. Just to get it. There we go. And then obviously we need to kind of give it a bit of a worn look. Now on these ones I've kind of put a mixture of a few textures and a bit of grass. So we'll do the same. So we'll go for the wet one first, or the animal mud. Just kind of throw it about a bit. I just know it'll probably build up, wouldn't it? That you'd have a bit of a collection building up around these kind of gates, especially if there's animals and stuff. So yeah, let's just try and put some of that in. That's too square. It's weird because you press paint and it doesn't actually paint when it's so small. So yeah, it's a bit of a strange one. See, that's better. I wonder why it's so square there. Yeah, same on that as well. So let's leave that like that and let's see if we can just make that look a bit better by putting a bit of grass down. We'll put we'll put the cut grass with no growth. Looks all right. And then we obviously want to put a bit of high grass collecting in corners and stuff. So probably about there and there. Yeah, I'd say that's spot on. Maybe a bit in the middle. I'm happy with that. Put a bit collecting around here because that would be a pretty... Yeah, there wouldn't be anything stopping us from growing some grass there. There we go. And we can just put a bit more spotted around. I think the cows here have actually grazed some of this from the grazing mod. So yeah, that's always going to be like that, isn't it? Let's just put a few dots in around here and hope that it sticks around. See, that looks better already, doesn't it? Straight away. Yeah, I'm happy with that. That's not too bad. So let's paint in now our grass textures on this one, just to finish it off, and then we can put a bit of the runoff in again and the textures on the cobble coming down. But this section would definitely be just grass, so yeah, that's not... I don't know whether to... Maybe a bit of the dirt on the sides might be a good idea instead. Yeah, I like that. That makes it look much better. There we go. That's not too bad. And then maybe a few spotted around like we did before. Yeah, that's much better. Much better. I'm happy with that. Maybe carry it on with the edges on here. We'll finish that section off. We'll focus on this and then we'll go to that one after, but I'm happy with that. We obviously need to do a bit of work on the runoff coming down, which is probably, because of the angle of it, it's going to be probably focused on that side, running all the way down and maybe collecting here. So we can have a collection there. Yeah, I like that. I like it. Right, I'll tell you what, we'll do the runoff now, because then we can get an idea of it, what it's going to do. We'll try and go quite small. Probably would branch again as well, maybe like that. There you go. And then we'll keep running it downwards. Maybe it moves out and comes in again. Who knows? I mean, you can't really predict this, can you? And then there's your collection. I like that, I do. So these are obviously going to have a bit of mud around, aren't they? Just spotting about the place, with it being what it is. So I'm happy to do that there. I'm happy with that. I think that's pretty cool. We could also have one kind of just linking up with it from that side, like that. There we go. That's pretty cool. Much better. Straight away. Makes a massive difference. So let's put the grass down. And then we can put a few bits on the other side of it as well. And I know we still need to figure out what we're going to do with that, but for now we'll just put it so it kind of gives us an idea of what to put on the other side when it comes to like any foliage or stuff. We don't want to go too far because we have got a bit of mud here, but I don't know if that's because I made a runoff, so yeah, I don't know if it would. It might seep through though, because at the end of the day it is just a fence. But again, some of that kind of stuff I'm going to look at the end and get a good idea from it. Change to the circle. We find the circle's better than the square for painting. It kind of just leaves a better mark on the ground. Right, so a few of them textures are fine, but what I do want to do is just add a few of these in, just to spot around, especially around places like that. Could be around the edge of that. Not too much with this, just the odd touch. Especially like things like that would have a bit of moss and growth because we can put some kind of grass on it as well. Won't go further down that section. From that point, we'll finish that off separately. I'd say that's a bit too much on that one, so maybe like that. I think that's all right, isn't it? It's not bad at all. It's a shame I got the tractors in the way. I'm really enjoying this series though. Like so far, this is completely different to what I've obviously done before. I mean, it's just nice to build my own farm and then eventually know that I'm going to play on it, because I'm hoping that it's going to be, you know, really good playthrough because I've obviously put that much effort in to make it. So let's just throw this up here a second. There we go, that's out of the way. We'll move this as well. But a much better turning point now. I mean, it's a lot easier to get through. Bit of an uphill, but not too bad as well. Especially if we have a tractor with enough power. I think what we need to do now is just put a bit of grass down. And these two sections here. And then, yeah, we're pretty much done, aren't we, with that bit? So let's start off from down here. And, well, like I said, we'll keep to one side and then we'll finish the other bit off another day. Maybe the next episode, or maybe I'll do it in between. I think I'll start with the no-cut one, because it's always a good one to start with. Throwing it down in sections like this. And then we can obviously tidy it up after. So, little just dots here and there if I've put any grassy moss down. It's not too bad. We're obviously going to put quite a bit down when it comes to the longer grass. But this is just kind of like a foundation for it, in a way. There's a bit there. That'll be all kind of mossy grass. Some there. I'll have it as well where the water's like that kind of runoff. The mud is running through the grass. That's pretty cool. Right, so what we're going to do up here. Maybe a bit there. There's more there. Some there. It is just trial and error, really, at this point. It's not... You can't really go wrong. Just don't do too much of it, I'd say. Sometimes, like, less is better. So there's some there. There. Just trying to find if there's any more on this section. There's some there. Bit there. There. It's difficult to see because there's a bit of a shadow overcasting it on this side. And I think the rest of that now could be long grass and it still look good. So let's just finish off by putting this long grass in. And I think we should be alright then. A little bit scattered. especially on the white mossy grass texture. Come back to that. The edges I'll finish off. Anything that's just not the edge at the moment. That's all right. Right, so let's have a look up here. Right, I think I'm happy with that. So what we'll do is we'll put them in the gaps and stuff like that, where you'd expect it collect. Definitely collect there. I probably see a few bits as well on the outside here, just accumulating. Like that. And then obviously around the edge of this gate, especially in that section, just little touches here and there. Yeah, I'm happy with that. That's pretty good. It's definitely got a... I think it's looking 1,000 times better, isn't it, from when we started on this section. Just goes to show what a difference it is by putting a bit of grass down in certain areas. Like that there would be around them posts. Bit on this side, that'd collect quite a bit more. And the same again over here. And probably on each post. There we go. That's not too bad at all, is it? And just drop a bit there. I'm happy with that. I think that looks pretty sweet. Much better than what it was when we started. That's a certainty. So, last little thing we can do in this section is let's just take off flight mode and let's check these gates out, because they aren't the easiest to figure out which way to turn. But I'm happy with that. That's not too bad. I mean, as long as it doesn't dig in the ground. Nah, that's not too bad. I'm happy with that. We'll shut that one. Let's try this one. Might dig in a bit. Hey, that's not. That's just about perfect. I'm happy with that. I did put some barbed wire up this section because it just looked ridiculous with this bit if I was climbing up. So I put these posts in with a bit of barbed wire, just so it wasn't like a post and then you could just walk around. Kind of felt pointless, you know, to have a gate if I could just walk around it. But no, I'm happy with that. I think it looks better now that we're separating as well. We've got these kind of partitions through the yard. A few gates knocking about. And this is much better. But I think, let's go test it out. Let's get in first person view down at the bottom. We'll try it out. So this is a bit of a tight bit, but still works fine. That's not too bad coming down there. But let's drive through the cowshed. And then we'll turn right as if we were coming up the hill and coming out of the cow barn. And see what we think. It's definitely better. It's definitely better. I think that looks... do you know what? That's exactly what I was after. I'm happy with that. You can see that the detail level and everything now has gone up as well. The basin on the left hand side looks good. If that was just a grass field as well without that's the only thing that was missing. It's pretty cool. Not bad at all. It's not too bad as well. Bit bumpy, but yeah, it's not. I'm happy with that. I'm happy. Let's have a look at this then. So we've got a production here. So yeah, just put silage, hay, and straw, and it comes out with TMR. So we don't even need to worry about, you know, the maize plus mixes. We can just keep it as a basic silage and hay. Now, I would like to have the option with that, though. I will be honest, to put maize silage in. So that's the only one negative to that. So yeah, we might have to think of that. Let's open this, because I haven't actually looked in here. It's not a bad storage area, is it? So you could stick some bales in there. And then up here is where our dryer is. And there's the back side of that we haven't actually been to yet, so... Again, pretty cool. I imagine I have to tip it in, though. Like, at the top. Which is a bit strange. So yeah, we just put grass in. And hay comes out. But you lose a bit. Now, the one thing I will say about that is expensive to run. £840 per cycle. That is. I'm sure it is. And there's 120 cycles a month. That can't be right. That's insane. That's insane. We might have to keep an eye on that. It might make us bankrupt. But no, I'm happy with this. I think today especially we've made a lot of progress. And yeah, some of these views, man, look at it. It looks stunning. Stunning. 3 bunkers. Got that in place. This is now looking pretty cool. This section we finished off as well. Nice little bumpy area. I do like that. I do. Honestly, I think we're getting to the point where it's getting close. I mean, look at that for a view. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. A few more decorations in there. It'll make it look spot on. Spot on. I'm very happy with it. So, last thing we'll do is we're going to put some fences up at this part just to see what we think can look pretty good and separate it out a little bit. It's a difficult one again. I do like some of these ones that I found though. Like, that is not a bad fence to have. Do we put it round the edge of this bit? Does it? Yeah. It's probably, I don't know if we're going to go through it. Should we go through it like that? I do like it. I do. But are we losing some of the detail? That's the problem, isn't it? Yeah, I don't think that should... No, it doesn't. It just doesn't look right. Because I'm losing some of that detail that we've already put in. I mean, there's certain sections that you'd want it, like that, for example, that straight bit maybe up to this rock, for example. That would make sense. And you could go with maybe a smaller one. It doesn't have to be... like as tall, does it? Just trying to think. Let's have a look what this looks like, and then if we can just get it going like that. See, that doesn't look too bad. But again, it's don't know. But I can't have an edge like this. It's just, it needs kind of sorting out, doesn't it? That's what I'm thinking. See, I do like that, but I just think with this bit here, it shouldn't be as much. Yeah. Maybe a few trees behind that wouldn't look too bad as well. So let's just put a few trees down just to get an idea of that. Like, do we go with something really small, like one of these? I do like that, actually. Looks pretty cool. Maybe 3 of them like that. But then in the middle, we put something a bit taller. Maybe. So I think that looks definitely better straight away. Always turn the trees as well, because if you haven't, it makes a massive difference, I found, if you turn the trees. So you place one down, then place it exactly the same in the same kind of orientation. It becomes obvious after you place a few. So if you're placing the same tree, just twist it a little bit. Just move it so it looks a bit different. That always is a bit of a good tip. they'd be nice trees, just a small one of them. Don't think we're gonna. I think we might be going a bit too big now for these. Even though I do like how it hides the back of it, it's just too much. So I'd say, I think we've looked at them ones. Maybe something like that there is pretty nice. Yeah, definitely. Probably want to put a bush as well at some point between that. I mean, that's going a bit, maybe too much through the rock. I'd have to check that out. Get lower down on that one and have a look. See, just small little things like that, I think, make a difference. Putting a bit of bush in, maybe some bushes down that side. Let's have a go. So it's going to get rid of the grass, though, so it's got to be right. Don't think they're tall enough as well. Yeah, that doesn't place very well, does it? At all. I'm not sure about that, I'll be honest. I mean, it probably looks pretty good when you're there. It's just I'd want it all on the other side of the fence. That's the only issue I've got there. Yeah, that needs tidying up. So let me just quickly tidy that up. See if I can find a better way of doing that. See, straight away, standing here, you can see that that grass there just doesn't look right. So that's why it's sometimes dead important to kind of stand on the ground and look what you've done. It's difficult with that one though, because like some of the rocks, you're obviously not going to be walking past them to see them, but some of them we are, so we need to probably put them back to what they were. And I think then it's not as obvious, like, you know, things like, just trying to think where we can see, like over here, for example, like it's not too bad there. But anyway, let's have a quick look at what I've just done over here. See what it's like on ground level, walking past. I think that's much better. I like this texture that I've put down with kind of like leaves as well. So underneath the trees. And then you can see that the bushes aren't as bad, but they're still coming through a little bit, which I'm happy with. I don't mind too much because they would naturally probably go through a fence like that anyway. But it does break it up. And that's exactly what I'm after. And you can see that I've put some grass in front as well. So yeah, I'm happy with that. I think that's not too bad. Let's just have a look at this tree. How bad is it coming through? It's not too bad. Need some grass in front of that rock. I mean, these are the final touches. These things take ages, but they do make a massive difference. They really do. So at the end, when we start putting the decorations in, and even more trees and bushes and stuff, it's yeah, it's going to be a big thing and a big task. But overall, I'm pretty happy with that. I think we've done well. We've sorted this bit out. We've done all the texture painting over this side, up to about there. So we need to still do all this here and behind here, and then from this point, we need to do really pretty much all this yard area. Before the next episode, I'll get all this texture painted, this side, and I'll also texture paint this part here, and I'll finally figure out what I'm going to put over this side. Yeah. But we are taking shape. You can see this farm isn't far off now. It's not. And after the decorations and trees and bushes right at the end, it'll be done and we can start deciding what equipment we want. I also liked this water tower, so I put that in. I just like the look of it, having a bit of a runoff coming from that pipe as well. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, definitely looking better, especially with these partitions in. And I do like the look of this as well now. Well happy with it. A lot of work still to do, so I'll chip away at it in between this episode and the next, but hopefully by the next episode, yeah, we'll be getting very close then. Hopefully, anyway. But yeah, I'm happy with that. Made a bit of progress. Lots to do still, like I said, but we'll get there. We'll definitely get there. I mean, that view alone is spot on. Let's have a look at the view from the bench before we end. I mean, what a view. Castle up there. I've got our farm buildings down here. Just the grass field, isn't it, that's letting us down at the moment? Yeah. But yeah, on that note, I am going to leave the video there. Definitely check out the next episode, because I am going to be putting some pictures of everyone else's farm that in that episode, the ones you've been sharing anyway within the Discord server. So yeah, after this video, if you want to get it in, please share. I'll pick a few. I have had quite a few already, so I don't know if I'll be able to get everybody's in the video, but I'll find some that could give us a bit of inspiration for the last part of this build. So thanks for watching. Please give the video a thumbs up if you're liking it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'm trying my best to get to that 30k, and we're very close. So yeah, please help me with that one. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.